Right.
But how long have you been an instructor at ICB? I think you're one of the seniors there for sure. You've probably worked there the longest, haven't you?
I'm a senior.
Yeah. It's over 10 years, right? Over 10 years.
Yeah, I've been instructor, full-time instructor, 2005? Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's what, 15? Yeah. I had a class or two before that, but that's what I've been doing, like I say, 15 years of instruction. And which is a part of, you're talking about ideas. That whole process of, instructing is one thing, teach, as we say, imparting knowledge and explaining things and all that good stuff. But the space of ideas, it's constant stimulation for that. There are the things that are just the knowledge of any industry, and we learn those things, but then all of a sudden you start getting new ideas, and students got to come up with ideas, and I'm interacting with them, and then, what about this? And, it's all a part of it, and then it spills. So then it spills when I leave school, leave work, then I'm in my personal space, and it's just more of it. I got, my journals to start writing ideas and observations of the day, and then come back later. Like, for example, back to potential. Bottom line, that one word, potential, that's one of the things I'm very passionate about. Potential. The potential we have as individuals, as groups, collectives. It's when you really think about it. If you really think about it, I get so excited, it makes me want to explode, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because especially when we really get wrapped, and there's good reason for it. But there's a lot of things happening socially, but the potential is the bigger picture. And if we really get wrapped around the potential, then you find yourself moving in that direction of men trying to bring that potential into realization, versus being in this, fight or flight mode where, where we're just trying to survive, and we don't want to just survive, man. We really want to do some mind-blowing type, musical experiences, video experiences. Yes, seriously.
That's why we're here.
So the potential, if anything, I think like with Vidjo, it is about potential. We talking about new ideas and getting past the ideas of just, even for me, like I say, just getting past the whole process of talking about ideas, because the first thing, anything negative somebody want to say, it's in the space of, yeah, it's all talk, but what you gonna do with it? How it go. You share an idea with somebody, yeah, I hear you, man. What you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I ain't gonna do nothing with it. I'm just gonna talk about it. How about that?
Yeah.
And like I say, for me, just overcoming that fear in the sense of just even being confronted with that, and I don't know, that was a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of lost my train of thought there, man. But like I said, I think that was an important point. I just wanted to stress that.
Communication is the first. That's the first step, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think with potential there's any limit, is there?
And that's the point. And that's actually, thank you for saying that, potential. That's what I was talking about. So just promoting the potential, like no matter, at any given time, somebody's at rock bottom right now. Somebody could be at the top of the game at the same time. Somebody's at the rock bottom. The potential is unlimited. Potential doesn't come in seasons like, during the winter solstice or something, the window of, opportunity to tap into potential is here. After that, it's gone. It's constant. All day, every day, as long as we are conscious and alive and aware, and potential is infinite. It really is like outer space. It's like, it's as vast as outer space. But if we constantly focus on yesterday and feelings from yesterday, and with this, it's hard to put, which direction you're going to face, and ultimately, which direction are you going to face?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I would tie that together.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get the potential word, man.
That's really good. There was a interview that I just did that I'll be posting later on today with Daniel Dant, who you know, and I mentioned to him the power of now and how important the power of now is, because focusing on the past or that has already happened and the future that hasn't happened isn't going to get you anywhere, and that's a good place to start. Is just focusing on right now. And what advice do you have for me or anybody that is doing or hosting their own podcast? Because I think that you're really good at it. What advice would you have?
Baya. That Baya, man. Every time I sit down up with it, which is short for believe in your ideas. And that's constant. It's not going to stop. Because at every level we grow to, we reach one level and we get to another level with it. You're going to be challenged with, a new idea or a new expansion, a new direction to go. And it may take you back to day one, like, ooh, that's a big jump or whatever. But believing in your ideas, that brings forth the energy to put forth the effort to, invest and go forward in it. Believing in your ideas, the small ideas. Like I told you when I decided, I'm going to start at 7 p.m. It was a small idea. Technically, I would say it was a small idea. But there's a time in my life I remember it's easy to have that's a cool idea, but then subtly just blow it off.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Like, no. So them little ideas, the details, I'm becoming more mindful of that support the bigger picture.
Yes.
Like, no, when I get to this level, then I'll do that. It's like, no, these little things are the little bricks that make up the wall that make it become all that.
Don't question yourself. There's a reason that it came about. There's a reason you thought about it. One thing. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, so all in all, I mean, Baya, and that believe in your ideas, man, that is just, that's a whole conversation unto itself. But
yeah.
I can't stress that enough because, I think that's just a part of it, man. I think it addresses the issues of, we confronting our fears, doubts, etc. That's it, man. It's other things, of course, we can talk about technical things but I think just the spirit of it, man, just whatever we're doing, believe in your ideas. When we're in school, middle school, high school, we have ideas, but nobody, we're not really, I don't recall, of course, there are teachers that I'm not going to act like, in school, they didn't support nothing and they just wanted to dumb us down. I had teachers that cared. They tried to tap into what your interests were, especially being young. Sometimes we're resistant and we don't want people in our world, like, and the teacher talking to you on the side, it didn't seem real cool, and we're trying to find our identity at that age. But it is important that in those environments, school, middle school, all levels of school, at home, we're encouraging each other, especially our children, to believe in their ideas. Because I think what happens, my theory or my thought on it and my belief in it is, when I encourage you to believe in your ideas, now your education has a purpose. Now, okay, you believe, you really, beyond being a fireman, being a police officer, being an astronaut, the classes, what do you want to be when you grow up, a doctor? You're like, you know what? I want to open up someone may want to create some type of musical amusement park, a music-themed music park.
That's a really great idea.
When a child is encouraged to believe in that idea, now all these things around them, school, the classes, science class, all the classes, everything starts to line up. Just like as we deal with in life right now as adults, things conspire to support that. So now that school and education has a purpose. It's not just a piece of paper. It's actually a piece of purpose. So we need that to line up. So that's why I encourage, promoting belief in ideas, your own personal ideas, at a very early age, building confidence in that. And also being supportive of others. So
yes.
Yeah.
Man, that music theme park idea, I'm stealing. I'm taking that. That's awesome.
And that's the thing about it, dude. It's like, just think about it. We sharing ideas and all this stuff. And of course, we all got some ideas that, I got some things I haven't put on Vidjo because they're the things I really want to, as I put documents in place, protect the idea. There's some things I'm pursuing, okay? Mm-hmm. But this other stuff, it's like, man, we got extra ideas. We put it on the table. Let's say you did go do something with it.
Right.
I'm not worried. I'm confident we'll have a talk one day. And I'm like, dude, I want a part of this, And it does. We all can. Again, that potential, man. Oh my God, man, the potential. The potential.
You're making me think of one of my favorite entertainers when I was a kid, Walt Disney, and his story where he was dirt poor and was on his last leg. He didn't have anything happening until he came up with this drawing of Mortimer, which ended up being Mickey Mouse in a rundown apartment. And look at what he did. Look at where he's at when it comes to his legacy. Yeah, what a great example of that is. And what my question to everybody is, what would the world be like without Disney? Some would agree that it would be a better place. I don't think so. His whole intention was to, make the world a better place for kids and for his two little girls to have fun, have something to enjoy. Because back then, there wasn't really a whole lot of entertainment for children. So just this whole idea of potential goes into making the world a much better place as well. And I'm really appreciative of this conversation to continue, because that's one thing that when you said music theme park, I think of Walt Disney and his theme parks, and why isn't there a music theme park like that? And it's because I haven't thought of it, and you thought of it, and that maybe that's the connection that needs to happen. Money needs to be on the table, and of course, and investors, and that's a lot of work. But again, the communication starts there, and I'm going to eventually try to pursue it at some point. I think it's a really cool idea. I think artists and bands would like that, because then they're promoting their art, their work. Where each band could have their own ride, for example, or own maybe like a show where you can have like cover bands, pretending to be, like for example, Led Zeppelin or the Black Eyed Peas, and that way that group gets promoted, but also those cover artists can have a way to make money and do well as also. It's really, really neat idea.
Now that you add more to it, I thought of this name just came up. A rock and roller coaster.
Yeah.
A rock and roller coaster.
Yeah.
But anyway, different stages. Imagine having an elevated stage where the like one of the music rides goes right next to the stage.
Yeah. Yes.
Imagine you got one of them swinging whatever, and as you're on that ride, there's one of your favorite artists, man. They right there on stage. You swinging back and forth by. You can hear them. They're playing on the elevated stage. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Light shooting up at it. You got a rides going around it. Yeah, man. And see, again, this is what gets me excited. This gets me, a lot of things get me excited, but when I get in the space, and again, it's not for the sake of just talking, just to hear yourself talk.
Right.
You see, even in conversation, if we were in a conversation maybe of something a little more of negative tone, negative nature, or just negative subject matter, depending on how we handle it, it can bring the energy down. It's kind of like, yeah, man, I know. Yeah, man,
wouldn't even go anywhere.
Where start sinking. But now we're talking about, dude, a music part. Oh my goodness! You start adding detail to it. The vibration starts going up. The excitement goes. But also to add to what you said, yes, it's the money, but I think the other side of the coin that's the challenge too is just doing that. The work that builds up to like the presentation of the idea. And if anything, that's probably the next move for me, really. And I think first part for it, and I'm going to tie this into Walt Disney too, it's all kind of full circle. The first step for me was really getting into a comfortable space of sharing my ideas. As a behind-the-scenes guy, I've had ideas. I had ideas to do a Vidjo type presentation a few years ago. But the catch to it was I was going to have somebody else do it for me. I was going to give stuff to say, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about it, it sounds so crazy, but that was his fear, dude.
That's I know.
All,
yeah.
And one of my inspirations is Walt Disney, because something that I admire about Walt Disney, even Oprah Winfrey, and a few other people that I've seen, they took control of their brand. Mm-hmm. And I'm just focused on Walt Disney. He took control of his brand. Like when Walt would bring out a new product, the music part, a new film series, he would do these on-camera presentations, and before they would show it. And that was a big part of him being a creative genius. But I noticed that became, and when I noticed that, when I really locked in on that, I knew it was a matter of time before I'm like, you know what, you got to represent your brand, especially if it's maybe a lot to it. I don't know how you want to explain it. If it's a big vision, but I think that's the way you can ensure it's like you take control of your brand and put your face on it. So that was a challenge for me. But I know in order to go to that next step, sharing ideas, and then now get to the point where, okay, you know what, this is a cool idea. I'm gonna put this together in presentation form and then go present it to company A, B, or C.
Yeah.
And so I think that work. I think you're right. The money is one thing, but if the vision is made clear, like whether it's a presentation, you go to a client, and it's laid out, it's pretty clear, I believe the money gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Somebody see a good investment, they're like, ooh, wow.
It's just like a good book.
Just a general idea. It's gonna be kind of like, okay, well, then you're gonna need some money for this. When you lay it out, all of a sudden they say, oh, we can get the money.
Right. Because they know it's going to work. The plan is already in place.
Yes.
It's like a good book. Those books get made into movies. Those comic books get made into movies and TV shows. So yeah, and scripts get passed around in LA constantly because they know that the script has to exist before they can even shop it around.